Ken and Michael back for episode 29 of A Shot of Business Central and a Beer, the only podcast that pairs Business Central happenings with beer reviews. In this episode, to go along with the latest Business Central news, we're happy to have live in the office Karen Brudvig, hope I'm saying that right, and Dave Bolenbach.
Yeah.
Getting it right? All right, they are both from Avalara. Avalara helps businesses of all sizes get tax compliance right in partnership with leading ERP, accounting, e-commerce, and other financial management system providers. Avalara delivers automated cloud-based compliance solutions for transaction tax, including sales and use, VAT, GST, communications, lodging, and other indirect tax types.
Wow.
Yeah,
We do it all.
yeah. It's pretty funny. The light got.
Buckle up, everyone. We're about to talk sales tax.
Yeah.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. So Karen and Dave, how's it going? Oh, I want to mention really quick too that they did bring in the beer for this special podcast. So
Yeah.
how's it going and what did you bring us?
It's going well.
It's going great. Flew in to Chicago a couple days ago and it's been great. So thanks again for having us.
Nice. Where'd you flying from?
I'm from DC. So flew in from DC on Tuesday. So I brought in, so I drink the beer of the gluten-free variety. So I brought in Glutenberg Blonde Ale. It's also a variety pack and it is quite tasty.
Ooh, starting out with the review early.
Yeah.
Dave, where are
Yeah.
you from? What'd you bring in?
So I'm originally from Pennsylvania, moved down to North Carolina a couple months ago. So flew up here yesterday. We brought up it was just a Chicago beer. I went to the store and was like, let's stay local here. So it's a half acre Tome Hazy Pale Ale. So it's good.
It's delicious.
Good.
Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you.
Did it for you, Ken.
Great can.
So part of what makes this fun is we like to go out and we pick different beers and then we go out onto the internet and we see what people think of them. Right.
Yep.
And so it's always entertaining just to see what people's thoughts are. And so let's start with the hazy pale ale
Mhm.
that we did some research on. And you can kind of try to picture what this person looks like that's writing it. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's the funnest part. Pours a hazy golden straw color with a clingy, dense eggshell white head. What sticks out on the nose is the density of the tropical citrus aromas. There's a plethora of ripe oranges, pithy grapefruit, and surprising lemons, packed wall to wall.
I love the
Is that
pithy
the same
grapefruit.
exact thing you thought?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. Hardcore beer drinker right
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
pithy grapefruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A plethora of oranges.
Eggshell colored head, unbelievable.
There you go.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
He or she has reviewed a few beers in their day.
Yeah, exactly. They choose their words carefully.
Yeah.
And the Glutenberg Blonde. Now, I'm gonna tell you, there's, sometimes they're pretty rough out here. So we'll start with some overall a nice, light, refreshing, gluten-free beer. So not the worst I've had, but not the best either. Okay.
That's fair.
This is a science experiment gone wrong. I've had corn beer before, and this is by far the worst. And then squeeze the lemon wedge into this beer. I'm not a fruit garnish guy, but this is also not a normal beer. So,
Fair enough. We gotta limit it.
so
I
Did they-
I have to say, as the, with the corn beers, it is a little, I think it's a step up from Corona, but that's just my personal opinion because I've tried a lot of gluten-free beers and they're really bad. So
yeah, well,
this is
F
on
off
on a scale of, whatever, gluten-free beers, I would say this is average.
one of the best.
One of the
And that
best.
is what I also saw. This is
Yeah.
one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
Ken, did they have ratings at all?
Yeah, they're really anything that's like a lighter beer or a blonde beer.
They're-
Usually the ratings are
they're-
low.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Miller Lite or
Yeah.
Corona is like 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like they just bash them.
Disrespect.
So it's two low twos or something.
Yeah.
But like a hazy IPA
Right.
or a stout or something,
Right.
or whiskey barrel aged. Those are the ones
They love it.
they love. Yeah. So
Oh, unbelievable. Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, at first I tried the beer. It's got a good taste right off the bat. I don't get any horse blanket, That was one of our
No.
favorite reviews.
Horse blanket.
Yeah, somebody said something tastes like horse blanket.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's a
Um,
thing.
Yeah, there you go.
But for me, it has a pretty overwhelming aftertaste, so we're gonna see where we end up rating it at.
How would you describe the aftertaste?
Garbage.
Yeah. Michael started off a little higher on the spear. I think we're plummeting. We're in a nosedive right
No,
now.
I mean, how would I describe the aftertaste?
I think it's the mosaic hops. I think that's the aftertaste.
That's the
So
mistake.
does that mean like a bunch of hops put together?
It's just that it's a mix of different ones, and it like that one is like the most like strongest, I guess, or
It's a shame because
Tastiest.
the first sip, I like the taste. The flavor's
Yeah,
pretty good.
you just got to keep drinking it.
But right after, yeah, if I
No,
chug it,
no,
if I chug it, I love it for the first minute. And
Yeah,
then-
yeah. And you don't have one aftertaste and a lot of drink.
Oh, not too bad.
All right.
All right, so you guys told us a little bit about where you're from. Tell us a little bit about what you do at Avalara.
So I'm a strategic alliance manager. So I manage the relationships between Avalara and our Microsoft partners. So I work really closely with you guys at Solution Systems.
Yes, and we're very happy to work with you.
It's been-
Yeah.
How about you, Dave?
And I'm a sales executive, so I'm on the Microsoft team at Avalara. So working with companies that have Microsoft, and kind of the myriad of Microsoft products. And yeah, I work with Karen, obviously paired with you guys, which is awesome when working with Solution Systems. So
and you talk to, I mean, end users,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
So if companies out there, they're not sure what their compliance requirements are, or if Avalara it will work for them, you're actually kind of first
Yeah.
line of defense, so to speak, and
Exactly.
in there making sure it's a good fit and offering the right solution.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, I would be directly working with any customer that would be potentially interested in Avalara solutions, or looking to automate any type of their sales tax process. So I'm kind of that first line of defense there.
I'm gonna put you two on the spot real quick.
Mhm.
Favorite ERP is Business Central.
Business
100%.
for sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
That was
All
close. Are
right.
you gonna kick them out if they didn't? say?
Yeah, take back the beer. Oh, too funny. So Avalara, obviously, a lot of people think of sales tax when they hear Avalara. It's what I think of too. But I mean, there's more to it, right? Sales Nexus and or sales tax Nexus and whatnot. Can you explain to us a little bit about what sales tax Nexus is? Or am I saying that right?
Yes,
Sales
you are.
tax Nexus.
Yeah, so I mean, at the core, like Nexus is really just where you need to, where you are doing business that you need to collect sales tax on. And historically, it was kind of a lot more cut and dry than it is today, where it really was just based on your physical presence. That all kind of changed a few years ago with the Wayfair case, or South Dakota versus Wayfair, which changed the kind of metrics that states are looking at to allow economic nexus to be a thing now. So it's basically based on the number of sales or revenue that you're doing, and each state has their own kind of take on it. But the Supreme Court said, hey, we want to allow states to get a piece of that revenue, because there's obviously online sales and just sales across borders that you don't have a physical presence in. So that has really changed the game in the last 3 years, where companies, you have a couple locations, but you're doing business all over the United States, and you really need to get registered and start collecting sales tax across the board. So that's definitely been a big driver for our business. But a lot of our job is to educate and make sure that people are staying in compliance and getting in compliance if they need to hopefully save pain down the road.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if you're selling stuff online, you have to be compliant, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The hard part is every state has different laws or rules or regulations or whatnot, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's not even just online. I mean, online's the easy one. But you could just be doing sales, just shipping sales, right? You could just be taking phone orders and shipping sales, or whatever the case may be. And a lot of states are even looking at exempt transactions as a kind of, it's fulfilling the nexus requirement. So take California, for example, even if you have 100% exempt sales for resale, for example, a manufacturer, typical, they still want you to register if you've done $500,000 or more in a year in California. So that's where the exemption certificate piece comes in, where companies don't realize that they need to get registered in certain states. So there's just a lot of it can be sort of ambiguous, but each state definitely does have their own rules, and it's not all the same. It's the United States. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I can tell you firsthand. I mean, I remember a few years ago, right, as a cloud solution provider, we're selling various cloud-based solutions, trying to identify in the state of Illinois, are these subscriptions things that we
Right.
need to be taxing? Even our accounting firm struggled to provide us with a concrete answer on the question. It's like, well, wait, if you don't know, how is a company supposed to know?
Right.
On that. So, and let's be honest, right? This is potential revenue for these states.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Huge.
So they will, even if you're 100% exempt, right? Are they going to come after you and go, well, look, you didn't have a valid resale certificate here, so there's a penalty and fees and things associated with that then? I mean,
Yeah, that's really where, companies that say, oh, we're completely exempt, well, all of your liability is really in those exemption certificates and being able to prove that you are selling, to exempt customers. So, yeah, absolutely. That's really how companies how states come after you, is through audits and fines. And that's honestly, certificates are basically the first thing that they ask for is, hey, give me your certificates in the state that I am, representing. So
Nobody wants to get audited, that's for sure. Nobody probably wants a fine, right?
no fun.
Mhm.
So I know that Avalara recently rolled out their annual mid-year sales tax changes white paper. What are some of the highlights for tax law changes this year, and how has COVID impacted this?
So this is actually one of my favorite things that we roll out because I kind of geek out on the data. So we roll out beginning of year and then mid-year sales tax changes. And then we also partnered with the Urban Brookings Institute to roll out a white paper as well, just to see how sales tax was affected. So really sexy reading stuff, but pour yourself a glass of wine or have a beer. And it's an interesting read. So I definitely read it with a glass of wine, I believe. But yeah, it was fun stuff. So things that really changed with COVID is a lot of states were offering relief, and then also like federal relief really helped them as well. So originally it was thought that states were going to have this huge decline in like revenue from sales tax, but when they were doing surveys to the states, it does sound like most actually fared a lot better than expected. A lot of that was driven by those states that did have economic nexus. The states that didn't have economic nexus at the time definitely saw that decline, because someone like, I believe, Florida didn't have that, or and they also are run by tourism, and so losing both of those, so they rolled out changes and implemented economic nexus down there as well. So those states didn't fare as well, especially like tourism, like obviously like Nevada, Texas, Hawaii, and then those kind of reliant more on like natural resource like oil, like Wyoming, Alaska, North Dakota. So yeah, it was really interesting just to see kind of how everyone fared that way. As part of the review, states are definitely looking to expand excise taxes and legalizing marijuana, taxation of e-cigarettes. So definitely be looking for those things. And trying to, again, those states, especially those states that saw the decline, they're definitely going to be looking at new revenue sources that way. And then
New revenue sources.
And then also ones that are just looking to tax, like a lot, you'll see a lot of digital streaming,
I've heard
a
about
lot of digital software, like figuring out software as a service. Like I can't imagine your company right now in some states trying to figure out, okay, like this might be taxed as hardware, this might be taxed as software, this might be streaming. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on those changes as well.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to streaming things to be taxed at all.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, everything is streamed now, whether it's Netflix or
Mhm.
ERP software, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, it's
Mar-
crazy.
Yeah, I think Maryland just made a change a month ago and started taxing streaming
Really?
services. Yeah.
It's just a matter of time, Michael.
Yeah.
I know,
Gonna
it is,
happen.
but it's just same with like the gas tax, with the driving tax, the mileage tax. I think that's only a matter of time too for the United States.
Yeah, see. Yeah, I mean they need it, and as things change, right? I mean as the retail space changes to more more e-commerce and all that, states needed to get that revenue. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I long for the old days when you could buy something online and there was no tax.
I know, I know.
It was great.
I know.
It was actually a shock to my system when I moved to Australia in 2017. I moved back in 2021. And buying
Nice,
stuff
nice.
online, I was used to not paying
Yeah.
for anything when I was in America, and I didn't realize that when I started with Avalara in January. So I was like,
Wow.
this is
It's more money
why
now.
Wayfair in 2018.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So welcome back to America.
The Wayfair was big for Avalara too, though. I mean,
Yeah,
right, I
absolutely.
mean, it's
Yeah,
driving
it's
force.
yeah, absolutely. Big time.
Awesome. So, since we've gotten past all the technical stuff now, what Avalara does and sales tax and all the good stuff.
Sexy
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, all the sexy stuff. Exactly. What's the benefit of a Business Central partner, user, whatever, working with Avalara?
Yeah, so I think what we're all the problem that we solve is kind of multifaceted, but a lot of it is in saving time, doing just at its base, in order to stay compliant, there's 12,000 US taxing jurisdictions, right? So over 12,000. And so just without even taking into products and what you're selling or anything like that, just keeping your tax rates updated and your tax tables or using the native functionality in Business Central, it just becomes something that's almost impossible if you're doing business on a wider scale than just a state. And so really by integrating with Avalara, you're relying on us and the 200 plus people that are doing research, 200 people that are doing tax research at Avalara. So really it's kind of, you do an implementation, you get things set up with Avalara, and then we're handling all of those tax changes. We're handling, any type of standard rate changes. And then also if you have, what we're talking about here with some of the products that you're selling may have differing taxability or services, we're handling all of that on your behalf. So really from a Business Central piece, you're able to continue to work out a Business Central point for the tax function, point it to Avalara and allow Avalara to take all of that heavy lifting off of your, internal team. So that's really just from the calculation standpoint. We also have ways to really automate directly from Business Central, the exemption certificate function, reaching out to customers to get new certificates and verify them, and then the back end with returns filing and all of that. So definitely some, hopefully risk management that we can offer, as well as just a big time saver as you grow.
Yeah. And I feel personally that, as coming from, I have an accounting background and I did my own share of sales tax returns for several states.
Yeah.
At one point. And I think an undersold area is the filing services.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? At the end of the month, right now, Avalara has all of the data. Right?
Exactly.
So instead of me having to print out reports, go in, I mean, have you seen some of these sales tax returns? Like that you have to fill out, how many pages they are?
One of the things that we have to do as new employee kind of training is try to fill out a California sales tax return. And it's just like,
Right.
yeah,
It's wild.
it takes forever and it's a pain and you always get something wrong. So, and that's California. Theirs is more like labor intensive, but it's not even the hardest one. And to your point, it takes a lot
So
of time.
even if you could, quote, do your best to keep the rates up to date in the
Right.
system, right? Maybe you don't have very many customers.
Yeah.
So you can kind of manage keeping the rates up to date in the system, completing the monthly tax returns and the remitting the payments and everything. on a regular basis and remembering to do it and all that jazz and not making errors. I mean, to me, there's huge value on that side too, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's-
We
it's
agree.
huge.
Think about like 2 days. I mean, if it's gonna take someone 2 days,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
A month,
absolutely.
every month
Right.
to do all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're gonna make mistakes and
Sure.
so yeah, I think I like the whole thing, tying the whole thing together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, if you look at it this way, you know, if you get to where you're at the point where you're at 25 or 30 states or something or more, right? It's like another body, another person.
Absolutely.
You're
Yeah.
having to hire a full-time resource
Absolutely.
to manage all this stuff. So
Yeah.
there's your, I mean, instant ROI.
Mhm.
And we're seeing, I talk to people almost every day that are realizing where they're at with their business, where they need to immediately register in 15 more states.
Right.
And, the education process there is, oh my goodness, that's, what are we going to do? And that's the beauty of automation. That's the beauty of outsourcing and software, where you are able to, have an implementation and then really kind of be able to set it and forget it and allow Avalara to do our thing in the background and hopefully ensure that tax isn't something that's slowing down your business at any time. Taxes, we have to talk about it, but nobody likes to talk about it, and we get that. But it's one of those things like, let's make sure it goes away and we do things right because it's the law.
Yeah.
And then it never actually affects the business, because if the business really gets affected and slowed down from an audit and massive penalties and people are getting, we've seen CFOs getting fired, and it can be a big problem, right? If it's not addressed properly.
So
So
it's almost like, look at it this way. Let's talk about sales tax a lot now up front.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to talk about it much.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Allow
we-
your people to do their job and not have to worry about
Yeah.
this stuff.
I feel like those who take the proactive approach and take care of it, definitely will help their growth. But also all the people you guys talk to, it's all reactive. Like you said, like, oh, we have to register in 50 more states. We don't know. So, but again, no one wants to talk about sales tax and
Right.
they don't want to think about it.
I think though a lot of it too is like from a, let's say, Business Central perspective. A lot of people think, oh, I can just download the app for Avalara whenever I want, add it to Business Central, and everything's done. Everything's taken care of. Is that true, or is there more to it than just somebody downloading an app and
Yeah. Any tips or tricks or guidance on companies that might be about to embark on an Avalara implementation?
Yeah. I would say to take it seriously and to, as much as there are some really easy pieces of it that are, and we make our software as intuitive as possible. It is still a project, and it really depends on your business. So hopefully, you're kind of doing the due diligence to understand what complexities you guys have as a business. There's companies that are super complex, and then there's some companies that are not complex. So it really depends. But I think the key is to just take it seriously, understand that it is a project, and you want to get it right up front, because trying to rush through something a lot of times can lead to issues in the future. And if you don't set something up correctly, then that's where you potentially could be setting it up, wrong, and then you're having issues on the back end. So, we like to say it's not something that, you're going to be setting up in a week. You want to make sure you test it. You want to go
Right.
through your scenarios so that you're making sure that the system is set up correctly and that your users are used to it. Give it a month to 3 months for a typical company.
There you go.
That's what we're hoping to see.
yeah, because I think a lot of people think we just do, like I said, we download the app in a day, we'll put it all together, put our settings in,
Right.
we're up and running, we're ready to go.
Right.
Yeah. No.
As is not the case. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, why should businesses choose Avalara to automate sales tax? Who wants to take it?
Dave,
You want me to take it, Karen?
you're doing such a great job.
Well, I think that, we have kind of proven ourselves over the last, since the early 2000s, that we really are the market leader in this space. We've been around the block, and, our software is set up to scale. So we were originally really created for small to mid-sized businesses. and we've grown with our customers over the, since the early 2000s. So our goal is to really be a compliance suite that can handle everything that you need. So, and again, it could be that you really only need one or two pieces today, but you might need the third, fourth, fifth piece. You might go global. You might, need cross-border help. You might need us to help with registrations or back tax filings and all of that. So there's so much that we can help with. And I think that really does set us apart. Is the breadth of our services that we're able to provide, the way that we can really scale with customers' needs, and just that we've really seen it all with the thousands and thousands of customers that we have. It's almost 100% sure that we've seen your situation before and can get you set up correctly so that you're not having to 3 years down the road look at another vendor. We want to be your partner for 20 years. That's really our goal.
Yeah, I mean, Avalara, right? You guys are a publicly traded global company, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've seen it all.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing here, and I know, don't have to disclose, but guessing definitely the greatest number of Business Central sales tax deployments.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Hands
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Yeah. So Microsoft was it was with GP, but it was our first integration at Avalara. We now have up to almost 1,000 integrations, but with Business Central, we absolutely are really, it is us, and it's a great thing, the partnership that we have with Microsoft, you guys, with with Business Central. It's been great. So yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I think we should rate the beers. And then I've got some speed round questions. I don't know if you want to ask anything else before that.
No, I was just thinking about rating the beer myself.
All right. So the way it works, the way Ken said before, is if it's 50 or below, you cannot have another one.
Okay.
You're not, or you can, but you're not going to want to drink another one. At 50 above, you'll have more than one.
Yeah.
So, let's go first. I'll go first.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to give this a rating of, I don't have my list in front of me. I think my lowest you said was 19. Just kidding. Just kidding.
In the heat.
Dave's never gonna let you come back.
I'm going to go 66.
Okay, it's higher than I
Higher
thought.
than I thought you'd go.
Yeah, by route, I can
Trying to
have
be
a
nice.
couple.
Okay.
No, I could have a couple. No,
Okay.
I mean, if I couldn't drink more than one, I'll let you know. But yeah, I could have a couple. But
Mm.
I mean, I probably wouldn't go more than 2 or 3 in a night.
Yeah.
Just because it's the aftertaste that's killing me. If the aftertaste wasn't there, I'd be probably 85.
Mhm.
But the aftertaste gets me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fair score.
So I'm gonna go 94.
Wow.
Yeah, 94. I cheated. We're
Third highest?
I do have some of my previous rankings in front of me, so I was able to kind of look at that and go, okay, where do I think this fits in here? So yeah, it's right in my wheelhouse,
Yeah.
So I like it. And then now I'm kind of cheating because I'm looking at like what I gave some other beers in the past.
Mhm.
So I'm now
That's
looking at
cool.
it going, okay, well, no, it's better than this, right? But it's not as good as this. So
But still, I mean, it's got to be
Very good.
top 5 for
very
you.
good, yeah.
Easy. It's a,
Wow. Well done.
I think I would go with an 86.
nice.
86. High. But yeah. I agree. There is somewhat of an aftertaste. And kind of to your point, like I probably wouldn't drink more than a couple of them at a time, but I really like it. But that's kind of me with IPAs. I really like IPAs, but if I'm going to drink a bunch of beer, it's going to be like a Miller Lite. So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hear. I hope this isn't a speed round question. If you had a go-to beer,
Yeah.
you get one beer. Is there one that is a go-to that you're gonna?
Yes, it's a very local beer with a terrible name. To me in Pennsylvania, it's called it's Stolen Sons. It's called Baby Juices. And look it up. I'm sorry, but it is this, but much better.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so good. Yeah.
All right.
No aftertaste.
No aftertaste, Michael. If you come to Pennsylvania,
What's your go-to beer then?
My go-to, if it was readily available, would be the Lakefront New Grist. Also gluten-free.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's and I actually found it in Virginia. So
Really?
yeah, and it's a really good gluten-free beer. If I was not gluten-free, I would have a very different answer. Because I feel like your 1 to 50 rating is just like gluten-free beers in general.
Well, how would you on the gluten?
So-
Gluten make it.
We've had Angry Orchard.
That's
I think
it.
that may be the
It's not a
only.
beer though. It's a cider.
Was that your
Yeah,
was that your
yeah.
19?
So that's. doesn't
Yeah.
qualify.
These are good though. I would rate this one, if it was cold, I would definitely rate it probably like 90.
Wow.
But
Nice.
since it's a little warmer, we're gonna go 78.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's higher than I would have went with warm beer.
Oh, it was chilled a little bit.
It was air
it's
conditioned.
drinkable.
Yeah, I'd probably be in the 40s if that. I don't know, does gluten change the flavor of beers?
Well, like Corona, you enjoy a good Corona. Corona's
Yeah.
gluten-free.
Is
It's
it?
made
So,
from
yeah.
corn.
Yeah, it's made from corn.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at this.
Yeah, learn something
Yeah,
new.
yeah.
So, like Sapporo is a rice beer, so that's gluten-free. So,
I had no idea.
yeah.
Learn something new every day.
I love beer, so I always try to figure out what is the easiest thing to drink. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got 5 yes or no speed questions. We're gonna hit real fast, just say yes or no. No need to elaborate or anything like that, so.
Okay.
Let's do, Karen, we will do you first, all right?
Mhm.
Do you envision a world where online sales tax rates and compliance will be the same no matter which state you're doing business in?
No.
No?
No. Yeah.
No?
Great.
No, yeah?
I'm saying yes. I agree with Karen.
He's edgy.
Yeah, yeah.
This is my first
There's
speed
no
round.
way.
Give me a chance. I'm nervous.
Have you ever had a dream that involves sales tax?
yes.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Currently,
Exciting stuff over here.
Yeah.
It was probably when I first
Been in
started.
this space for 6 years. It comes through my pores.
currently 45 states collect statewide sales taxes. Do you think these states will make any changes to their current tax laws?
Yes.
Yes.
Probably whole funds. Do companies selling, did I write this right? Do companies selling to mainly exempt customers need to worry about sales tax?
Yes.
Yes.
And last but not least, are you team gravy or team sauce?
Or you don't know what that question is.
I'm gonna
Oh,
go
let's
with,
debate it.
Ken, we gotta talk to you about this.
Yeah, he doesn't know, yeah.
because I'm in Chicago, I feel like I should say gravy, but I'm from Iowa, so I'm gonna go with sauce.
Yeah.
I'm team sauce as well.
Sauce.
Your team sauce? too?
Sauce?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ken, South
Are you
side?
the only
No,
gravy
Italian.
fan?
South side
I
though.
think you have to be Italian.
I don't know,
I feel like it is definitely an Italian.
Yeah.
maybe. I don't
I
know.
think it's an Italian thing.
Polo.
Polish. All right, well, that about sums it up for this this segment or whatnot. We appreciate everybody being here live and in studio, so.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
It's
for being here.
awesome.
Yeah, it was a good
It
time.
was fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
All right.